Namaskaram. In today's video, we are going to see the Charanam of the Vathapi Ganapathim Bhaje. Quite a lengthy one. It has got about 8 tala cycle or avartanam of regular sahityam, followed by another 2 tala cycles of the Samashti Charanam. Since we have already seen a lot of how you make sangatis or improvisations in the Pallavi and Anupallavi, my focus is not going to be Sangati making here. Instead, there is a new feature I would like to explain in a small way, which is Neraval. In one of the lines of the Charanam, we will try a small exercise of Neraval because that is a totally different topic, and I would just like to introduce it for you in this Kirtane. Maybe later on we will do it in a more elaborate manner in another video. So the concept of Neraval is what you're going to learn in the Charanam, along with doing a lot of other techniques, showing you techniques which help us to bring the gamakam or the song out, the feel of the song out. So let's go to the Charanam. So we'll do the first 5 lines together before we go to the 6th line, where I'll be showing you the Neraval aspect of it. The first 5 lines go like this. Pura kumbha sambhava munivara prapujitam trikonamadyagatam murari pramukatyupasitam mooladhara kshetrastitam paradi chatvari vagatmakam. The reason why I am singing this for you along with the talam is I want you to make the placement of the words with respect to the talam correctly. You are seeing the notations on the screen, plus I am singing along with the talam. So the positions of the wordings, this is very, very important for you to not only go into improvisations. It's not all about improvisations. It is also about how you don't miss out on the talam, because sometimes your students are very oblivious to the fact that they have dropped out the talam. One avartanam has finished for them in 7.5 beats and they've obliviously gone to the next avartanam, next line of the sahityam, without even remembering that they've dropped half a beat or 1 beat of the previous talam. So that should not happen. So keep an eye, keep a watch, mark out the positions of the wordings as opposed to the talam. The first line, Pura Kumbha, sage Agasthya, who came out of a pitcher of water, adored and worshipped Lord Ganesha. Pura Riga, connect the Ri and the Ga. Kumbhasam Gariri Kumbha, Gari in 1 strike, where Ri goes silent. Re Sa. The second Ri, you can do it from Sa. Strike Sa and bring it to Ri. Basam. This Sa, Sambhava Munivara Sa, can go on to the 2nd string also. Many a times we need to jump between strings in order to extract the tonal effect of the different strings. You have a beautiful instrument here with 4 main playing strings, 4 of them different gauges, giving out different tonal effects. Make the most of it as and when a kirtana allows you to do it. So you can go to the Shajamam. Pura Kumbha Sani Pa. Sani in 1 strike and Pa, just strike it like that. Sani 1 strike, Pa is 1 strike. Again. Munivara Sani Gari. Push the Sani from Da. Now, Da is not a note in hamsadwani. It is not a part of hamsadwani. But I am still asking you to push it from Da. just trying to tell you that you're taking a grip of the second string at da. You're not going to allow the sound of da to come out at any point in time. The second you strike da, you're going to push your finger into ni to get the sani. Once again, the whole line. Prapujitam. Now here if you see Prapujitam Trikonamadhyagatam. If you've carefully watched when I was singing, Prapujitam Trikonamadhyagatam. The pra of the Prapujitam came on the 8th beat itself. There are 2 matras left on the 8th beat after Munivara. So you take the pra of the Prapujitam in that space. So here the Sahityam is actually starting before the Talam starts. Pujitam comes on the beat of the first beat of the next Avartanam. Here Prapujitam Trikonamadhyagatam. Gapa Gari is all that you see on the screen as part of the Prapujitam. But we are now going to mix frequencies. This is one very effective technique which students must follow in order to get the extract the gamakam, extract the raga bhava. Veena is very famous for vocalizing a song. So here instead of playing as it is ga pa ga ri, where is the Prapujitam here? To get the Prapujitam, you are going to do a lot of mixing of frequency. The ga is struck twice, one to get ga itself and one to move to pa. So which means pa is actually combining with the frequency of ga. Prapujitam gari Trikona Risa Sa. Let us go to the second string for Trikona. Once again pushing from da without the da sound being heard. That is how fast I moved. You can watch my finger. Re, pushed it into re with a force, and then from re, first sa comes, second sa is a janda varisai. I go back to the first string for re, ga, sa, re, all played plain, because the Sahityam doesn't require that kind of a flow. Madhyagatam, it is saying something emphatic. The mystic triangle, he is in the middle. Madhyagatam, Trikona Madhyagatam. Prapujitam Trikonama. So how carefully you have to watch each one of these, the Sahityam meaning, the Sahityam flow, the Raga Bhava, the notation, the musical phrases, how to split it, the Talam, the pauses. Lot of dimensions to be aware of when you're doing each and every line. If you get into the habit of looking at all of these dimensions in play, it becomes very easy for you to get the songs fast. So, Murari, look at the huge pause that you're getting in Murari. Murari Pramukatyupasitam Niri Pramukatyu Rigagari Sa. How do you play Rigagari? Riga, one strike, pushing into ga itself on the second string. This is all happening on the second string. Gari is one strike. The minute you push your finger from re into ga, the next strike for gari, ga has to happen. Murari Pramukatyu ni pa ga re. Sa ni pa, you play it like sa ni pa. Pa pa si tam ga re, push from ni into ga. Ni to ga to re. This is the mingling of the frequencies. Take the frequency of ni to ga, frequency of ga to re. Sitam mooladhara stitam. This particular line, if you see, the Sahityam allows for a lot of pauses. Mooladhara kshetra stitam. Leave those pauses like that. The Sahityam requires that the pauses are left. The meaning, the strength of the meaning has to percolate through how you're playing. So don't try to fill up those pauses, at least in this particular line. Just see how the strength of that Sahityam is flowing when you just keep the pauses as they are. So filling up, improvisations are all very fine, Sangati making is all very fine, but it has to go case by case. In this case, pauses are left as they are. Once again, how do you play this? Ga, 2 strikes, one for ga and one to go to pa, and then da, ra, pa to ga, ga to re. Da, 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 sheta, sa. Again, push from da without da being heard. Sa, sa, ni. Do a drop down ni, the chetra, stitam. Or silent ni. Bring it just a silent ni there. Stitam. I'll play this once again. Paradi chatvari pagatmakam pasani sa. The pa one strike, sani one strike, sa one strike. Similar to this, you jump to re of the first string and you say re ga, re one strike, ga re one strike, ga one strike. So together they form like phrases. They are like each other. Paradi chatvari vagat pagat. Now look at the expression vagat, vagat. That pa gets a lot of push, strength, hand dynamics, use of muscles there. Play the pa like you're playing ni pa, pa going from ga. Now bring the fingers together to work these muscles, and in pa, ni pa ga, it's something like that. You're going to, the notes that are going to be played are going to be like ni pa ga, makam. Just leave the ga here, go to sa and say makam, pa ga. Let me play these 5 lines together. So from here now we are going into the next line, Pranava Swarupa Vakratundam. This is where I'm going to show you the concept of Neraval making. Now, what is Neraval? It is an improvisation. An improvisation just like how you do a Sangati building. Now then there should be a difference, that is called Sangati making. This is Neraval. Neraval you can't have it done in any and every place in a Kirtana. Whereas Sangati, every line you can make Sangatis, you can make variations in a Sangati. Whereas Neraval you must choose a line, a particular line which is loosely packed and which has got sensible meaning to it. A meaning that has been repeatedly it is coming out, it will reinforce the idea or the feeling or the emotion that that meaning is trying to convey, bringing out the raga bhava. So it's strengthening all the facets of that line. So such a line must be selected to do Neraval. That is the first point, choosing of a line. The second point is building up improvisations with different speeds. The Kid column, Madhya column, Male column, first, second and third speed. This is something, a fundamental thing which all students have been learning from the Sarali Varisai, to play in different speeds. Whereas in Sangatis, you don't play different speeds. It's just in that one speed the Kirtana is flowing. That is Sangati making for you. In Neraval, you're going to build up speeds. You're going to try different amount of number of notes or number of matras per beat keeps increasing, doubling up. So this is the crucial difference between Sangati building and Neraval. Now I've chosen this line Pranava Swarupa Vakratundam. Point 1, is it fitting with the point 1 where I say it's got a perfect meaning to it? What is the meaning? Ganesha, Lord Ganesha, his trunk is coiled in such a way that it resembles the form of Pranava. Very beautiful, very powerful meaning. So we tick that point. Now, is it loosely placed? Is the Sahityam loosely placed? If you ask me, no. There is enough number of words in this line which does not give us too much scope of adding and building the notations, the notes. Then why choose this? This is not going to be an elaborate Neraval building here. We are just going to do one Avartanam of, I'm just going to show you one Avartanam of Neraval. It is just to push the energy bar, because as you have noticed, the ragam is an energy based ragam, high energy ragam. The Sahityam is also very heavily energy packed. Now pushing the bar of energy to a little more higher level is the idea, which is why we are just going to do a small Neraval in this place, a relevant place which has got a very powerful meaning. We'll do the Sahityam in the same speed as how the Kirtana is flowing, and double up the speed also. Doubling up the speed will show you how Neraval operates, and followed by two Avartanams of Kalpanaswaram. Neraval is always, when you do Neraval for a line, it is always followed by Kalpanaswaram. In this case, it's all going to be kept very minimal. This exercise, most of the time, artists don't do Neraval in this place. My guru used to, bring out the energy in this area quite frequently, and I quite liked it. So we'll just do that small exercise. This is an opportunity for me to introduce Neraval for you. A concept many of you are scared. You think that it's something very technically superior that you cannot attempt. If you understand the basic concept behind anything, be aware of it. Knowledge comes to you. When knowledge comes to you, just put it to practice and you learn it. So these are the pointers that you always as a serious student must keep in mind. So we go ahead and play this line first in the normal flow of the Sahityam. Just like how we did those previous 5 lines, this will also flow. For 2 Sangatis, we'll flow it in the normal speed. And then one Avartanam fully, I'll show you how you double up the speed and show you how this difference between a Sangati and Neraval happens. So, Pranava Swarupa Vakratundam. Any Sangati building, any improvisation expects you to notice how many matras are given for each word. Here, Pranava, you're giving 2.5 beats, which is 10 notes. Swarupa gets 2 beats, which is 8 notes. Vakra 6 notes, 1.5 beats. Tundam is the 7th and 8th beat, 8 notes. So this you have to bracket out, clearly keep it in your head. This is the amount of matras given for each one of those words. You cannot exceed or decrease. You have to keep the talam tight. You have to get the improvisations done. All of that is done only if you make note of this particular very important point. So on the screen you are seeing how the Pranava Swarupa is moving, the number of matras that are given for it. So Pasani Pranava. The ni is 6 matras. Of the 10 matras of Pranava, the ni is Pasani. Ni. Hold the ni correctly. The 6 matras should be held correctly, which is, if you don't do it, the talam is going to sway. So, Pasani, Paniga, Pa. So, Pa, Sa separately, and from Sa you strike Ni. So the ni sound is coming from Sa. You can shake the knee thrice to keep the 6 matras tight. Ni is capable of taking those oscillations. Every note cannot take. You just go and shake the Sa. No, Sa is a very constant note. It requires to be handled in a different way. That is, the ni is a melodic, highly melodic note. So you can do the 3 oscillations to keep the 6 matras in place. Swarupa, leave the ni and then come to Pa. Pa, ni, silently come down to Ga and then go back to Pa. Pa, ni strike, Ga silent, Pa, back to Pa. Again Pranava Swarupa. Immediately there is no pause between Swarupa and Vakra. Gari. On the screen you see the notation is Gari, but can I go and say Swarupa? Doesn't sound bad, but when the flow of, when the frequency of Pa is pushed into the Re to get the Gari, Vakra, Tundam. Sa, Re, one strike, Re going silent, and from Re you strike and come to Sa. Tundam. There is a way in which you just, when you're coming from Re to Sa also, you put the Re a little bit behind and then come. I'll play this line once again. One more Sangati we can learn. Pranava. Sasani. Paniga Pa. Take the Sasa from Pa. Sani Ni. Last time we did Ni. Now you're going to say Sani Ni. Sasa Sani Ni. Swarupa. Now Swarupa we are going to play it very differently from what we did last time. Pa is going to come from Ni. Pa from Ni. Pa, Niga. Pa is the notation for Swarupa, right? So the Pa is going to come from Ni. Then again you go to Ni, bring the Ga. The last Pa will be plain. Swarupa. Vakra, immediately Vakra. We played the way we played it last time. Tundam, the 8 matras that you have for Tundam, let us fill it up. Nisa, ga, nisa, nisa, Vakra. Now let us go into the speeding up. the doubling up of this Sangati. How do you do that? Eight notes per beat. Now, since keeping 8 notes per beat is very difficult, we have done this in the Varnam, if you all remember, Rettakale. We have, that was only 4 notes, we used to split it as 2 notes per beat. So it went out to 16 beats per Talam. But the tempo is going to be the same. Pranava Swarupa Vakratundam Pranava Swarupa Vakratundam Pranava Swarupa. You see the notation on the screen and you'll realize how in one beat 8 notes have been pushed in. But while singing, we do double beats to keep control of the 8 notes. 4 plus 4. 2 beats will get 4 notes. So let us try and play it out. You saw how we are singing it. Pranava Swarupa Vakra Tundam Sani Sa Sani Sa Sani Gari Gari Sa Sani Bani Sa Sani Bagari Ga Pani Sani Ri Ri Ni Ri Ri Ga Gari Sa Sani Gari Sa Sani Ga Bagari Sa. So we have just filled it up, and it is going at 8 notes per beat, which will mean in half an avartanam, 1 line is finished. We are going to repeat another avartanam in the next half of the talam. So you're going to get two avartanams. 2 times you're repeating in one tala cycle itself. So how do you play? Sa ni sa Pranava Sani Gari Gari Sa Sa Gari Gari Sa Sani Gari Gari Sa Sani once, right? Swarupa Sani Bani Sa Vakra Tundam Sani Pagari Ga Pani Tundam. So the whole thing together, how will you get? This is the second avartanam. So together both will come like this. That was the Kalpana Swaram that will follow the Neraval. Was it too overwhelming? I hope I'm making it very clear. This is how Neraval. Come on, what I did for just one avartanam. I did two different lines because two lines fit that avartanam. But imagine when somebody is going on continuously doing it. He's moving all over the Tarasthai, Madhyasthai, Mantrasthai and so on. Then how is it? It'll be just like a big downpour. Now, don't you think in retrospect, it suits this place really well? I'll play the two of these, the slow moving, the fast, and the Chitaswaram, the Kalpana Swaram, and show you. Kalpana Swaram, I have given the notations. I'm sure you'll be able to follow it. The first one is coming from the 6th beat, half of the 6th beat. Gapanisa, Panisa, Ni Pranava, Swarupa Vakratundam. So this particular Kalpana Swaram is the pyramid style. What is a pyramid style? A pyramid style is either starting from a small going to the big or starting from a big going to the small. Gapanisa, then knock out the Ga. Panisa, knock out the Pa. Ni Pranava. Look at the calculation. How much we are needing. I'm actually doing 10 notes. Half of the 6th beat means you have 2 notes there, followed by 4 notes in the 7th beat, followed by 4 notes in the 8th beat. That makes it the whole thing 10. So exactly at the half of the sixth beat, you must start ga pa ni sa ni pranava. Now the next one, I am not doing pranava swarupa. I am not going to say pranava swarupa. I am only saying pranava. When you cut off the sahityam like this to do your kalpana swaram, you should always remember that whatever you are cutting off, the remaining has some meaning to it. You can't cut a word in the middle, right in the middle, where the meaning is completely blocked. That is not the right way. So here pranava has a meaning. So I say pranava. Pari sani pasani pani paga pagari sari pranava swarupa. And here I am saying gari sari at the end of the kalpana swaram. Now here pranava, I can't just go separately. So here it's a pranava. So these are beautiful ways Manodharma can be handled. Sa sa ni re sa and you can continue with your kirtane after that. So how does this portion pan out? Watch it. If you have any doubts on this, do ask me questions in the comment section and I'll just be too happy to clear it out. This is just a brief exploring of Neraval. This place is not conducive for extensive Neraval. It's just to push the energy bar a little bit up so that we also get the concept of Neraval in place, as well as this, the song gets pepped up. Manodharma, creative music, is all about exploring ways of making your the kirtana have that majestic walk through. Let's go and check it out. Next line says, Nirantaram Nitila Chandra Gandam Nirantaram Nitila Chandra Gandam Nijabamakara Vidrekshu Kandam Nijabamakara Vidrekshu Dandam. So here we don't need to do any improvisations. We just Niradaram, because it's moving into the Tarasthai, it brings out with it a lot of emotions. Maybe there we can try one more variation. But otherwise, Nirigari, need to reconnect. Connect means you are going to strike Ni twice, once for Ni and one to go into Re. Two strikes in Ga, one for Ga and one to come to Re. So it's going in opposite directions. Nidrandaram Nitila Chandra. One strike for Nisa, one strike for Re. Nisa Re Sari Nipa Chandra Gandam Nizagari, or you can just play it as Nizari Re Gandam as a Jandavarse. Once again, Nirandharam Nitila Chandra Gandam. The reason why I am singing with the talam on is I want you all to observe, connect the physical talam with the notational talam that you see there in the screen along with the sahitya. Sa 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 pa ni ja ma sa sa. Going from pa, two sas, gender say. Sa ni pa in one strike. Ja ma ma ga ga. Pa ga ga to reconnect. Sa ve. Comes in the last beat. Nija ma ma kara vi rekshu kari rekshu dandam. So let us do this Samashti Charanam. Karambuja pasha bija puram kalusha viduram bhutakaram haradi guru guhatoshita bimbam hamsadwani bhushitairam Vathapi. So you can take the last Sangati of Vathapi where it runs. The energy flow needs to keep happening before you slow down and stop. So let's see how to play this line. Karambuja pasha bija puram gaga risa gaga gender say risa one strike. Go to the second string sani pa, sani one strike, pa one strike. Bija pa nisa. From sa you connect to re puram kalusha viduram rega paga sani pa. Now take the paga and ga, bring the three fingers here tight. You know, you work the muscles of this so that the pa is taken in ga itself. Hand dynamics. From ga you connect to ni. Ni pa, sa ni pa, play it like push into ni. Sa ni pa, ni za ga ni za ni sa. Kalusha viduram bhutakaram. You can bring the knee from pa. Nisa one strike. Gari push into re. Karam. Sani one strike. Sa one strike. Harade guru guha. It's a pagari, nigari. Any of those notes can be picked up. Now I am going to give it Harade Guru Guha Toshita. Guru Guha is worshipping him. Guru Guha is Muthuswami Dikshitar. Pagari, you can go to, or you can take the ga and re itself. Double strike in pa, push the ga into re. Pagari. The re is taken inside. All four notes, sa, re, sa, ni, you have to strike with the re inside itself. Toshita bimbam. Now your fingers are in ni. From ni to pa connect. That was the last re, it was bimbam. Hamsadwani bhushita he rambam. Go from pa, get a janda versa in sa. Hamsadwani bhushita he rambam. All struck separately. This Hamsadwani Bhushita He Rambam. He Ramba, Lord He Ramba, you are being adorned by our Ragam, Hamsadwani. You can play it 3 times if you want to. will be a beautiful way of tying up the knot. I have told you earlier also when we were tying up knots after the Pallavi, after the Anupallavi and so on. Do an ala, small number of note patterns in Hamsadwani. Hamsadwani Prayoga, so many already you must have picked up from the Kirtane. Bring them all together and finish your Kirtane. This is a wonderful Kirtane to start off your journey in the advanced lessons, because it teaches you not only how to build Sangatis, how to bring the tonal quality of the instrument, Neraval making, the Samashti Charanam, handling of different Gamakas, so many techniques that you must have learned from this. Every lesson that you learn, every Kirtana or Dillana, whatever in the advanced lessons that you're going to learn, should give you additional new lessons, new techniques or whatever, new ideas, so that you build yourself up as a very strong musician. I hope this series will help you in that journey. Thank you.